This week is National Volunteer Week, when thousands of volunteers are celebrated for their contribution to the community. In Dunedin, volunteer efforts are coordinated through Volunteering Otago. Manager Anna Clere joins us to discuss this week's celebrations and the work that's done year-round. Good evening, Anna.
Good evening.
Tell us about what's happening in Dunedin for the Volunteering Week.
Volunteering Otago is hosting a volunteer morning tea for volunteers at Community House on Wednesday morning. And we're also very excited to host our very first Youth Volunteering Awards. We're having a pizza party and movie celebration with young people on Saturday. And there are various other organisations hosting all kinds of volunteer celebrations throughout the week.
How many volunteers are there in the community?
It's hard to tell exactly how many there are. There are so many different ways that volunteers can be involved, from helping your neighbour when they're away, checking their mail, to volunteering with an organisation. So there's not an exact number that I can give you. I can tell you that volunteers do come through our office. We get maybe about 1,000 that we connect or more every year.
Now, focusing on the ones that do come through your office, what kind of work do they do?
Anything and everything. So volunteers help keep our beaches safe, lifeguards. They help clean our beaches, our communities. There are volunteers that do the clean up or maintain the tracks that we walk around through dock. There are volunteers that visit elderly people, Meals on Wheels. Volunteers do administrative work. Volunteers do all kinds of things. It's really, there's no limit to what volunteers can do.
How important is that work in the community?
Volunteers are so important in our community. If volunteers didn't do what they did, our community wouldn't be what it is. If you just take a thought about all the sporting that happens, that mainly happens due to volunteer coaches and referees. So without those volunteers, there probably would be no sport. The same could be said for quite a lot of the activities that happen in our community.
Are there any significant projects on at the moment that involve volunteers?
So the Dunedin Fringe, or the Dunedin Midwinter Carnival Festival that's put on through the Dunedin Fringe Arts Trust is happening this Saturday night. They do need volunteers, and if anyone's interested in getting involved with that, it's a really amazing experience. So check out the Dunedin Fringe or Dunedin Midwinter Carnival online. You can probably Google it.
What are some of the aims of Volunteering Otago?
So we're here to help connect people who want to volunteer with organisations that engage volunteers, and we're also here to promote volunteering in and around Otago and to promote best practices in volunteering through community training.
How can people become involved in volunteering work in Dunedin?
Really easy. Just they can come to us, volunteeringotago.org.nz, or they can visit us at Community House in Moray Place. Or they can look around, and if they see a need in their community, they can get out there and start making a change and start doing that. But if you're not quite sure what you'd like to do, come see us. We have a whole list of different volunteer opportunities.
Volunteering Otago Manager Anna Clere, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.